Hello, everybody. Slightly slant. Sorry, hang on. Good, we're live. Uh-oh. Oh, we're still live, right? Okay. But yeah, I've missed you guys. Sorry I haven't done many videos or pretty much anything on YouTube lately. But yeah, I've missed you guys. Sorry. Oops. A man born on an island without a Bible still gets in. What are you guys talking about? Hey, Crystal, Miles, Free Press. Nice to see you guys here with me. Sorry, I just got done eating, so I'm kind of rushing around doing everything. I'm running around with my head cut off, pretty much. I'm right now sending another invite to our associate Phil Langdon. I don't know if he's. I did hear back from him, so I mean he's going to be here. He might be a little late because he's cooking. He's making some food. Hello, Ronnie. How are you? What's up, Paula? How are you, sweetheart? Paula's been doing some videos lately. Watched one or two of them. Did all those people that died of the plague attract the plague due to the frequency? Leave it to you, Miles. Leave it to you, brother. Yeah, I feel you. I understand what you're getting at there. What, you were sick, Rainbow? I didn't know you were sick. What about all the Christmas and intelligent people, our Christians and intelligent people who were murdered by the Bolsheviks in Russia? Yeah? Jerry Runk, fun with words, yes. Runky Monkey's the man when it comes to messing around with the etymology and the linguistics of our existence. I agree with that. Oh, sorry to hear that. My condolences. But, you know, hey, what's up, 5D? You know that we, in this reality, have to realize the first thing we have to overcome is that death factor. And, when we show remorse for death, it's because we fear it. Isn't that the reason? And if anything I've learned out of this whole experience lately is death is a mere illusion, is a transition, pretty much, or a you know how you feel when you get a brand new pair of shoes or a brand new car when you want to go drive in your brand new car just because it's brand new. Imagine having that feeling as a soul coming into a new body. That's what I envision it to be. And for some reason, it just feels like it sits well with my psyche and it's not just to make myself feel better. It's when I hear the truth, I tend to feel it inside. I don't know if you guys exalt in the same knowing, but yeah, I know you miss them. There are no plagues or viruses or germs. It has to do with what you eat. If you eat acid ash food, you go into disease. Well, that's a pretty bold statement there that there is no disease, but you know. Hey, Michelle, how are you, sweetheart? I've missed you. Valley Parks, hi, how are you? I've said hi to everybody else, I think, so far. Ronnie G, Free Press 666, I said hi to you. Eric's in the house. Are you still here, Eric? Sorry if I got the sniffles. Hey, Phil, you in the house? Hello? So how do I find out? No, he'd be on here, right? Yeah. Um. Oh, shoot. How do I? Darn it. I'm talking to Phil right now. Sorry, he's coming. So, yeah, he was waiting for me in Hangouts, and I don't know how to because I have you guys on my computer and I'm talking to him on my phone. So I didn't really know how to invite him or I don't know. You know what I mean? Copy the link or whatever. Because I'm lazy. But yeah, I hope all has been well, and that you guys are learning and broadening your horizons as far as the knowing, the gnosis, the wisdom, the power that we can gain from the knowledge of our creation and how this whole system works. And my newest epiphany recently, with in regards to that spiritual aspect of our existence, is with understanding you have to live in the heart too. You have to be in the center of yourself, and I believe that's the heart. And I think that's the do good version or part of this whole equation is to live out of your heart, just to live what feels good with you, what is right with you is right with the creator, which is right with all of us. Because when you pay it forward doing favors for others out of the kindness of your heart without expectations of anything in return, and even if that behavior starts with you thinking about having to do it, you have to think about doing it. I guarantee you, eventually you'll start wanting to just help people as you pass them up on the road. You see somebody broke down, they need help. You'll start doing that, and it feels good. And that good feeling we feel is, I believe, because we're paying it forward to ourselves in the big scheme of things. And the bigger picture to me is what I've been focusing on lately. And well, not lately, because I've been focused at work. And working sucks. We all can attest to that. Bio butt nuggets now in corn and peanut. What's up, Miles? Gary Baxter, what's up, buddy? MCF, Cassie James. So I don't know. Hang on, I'm checking with Phil I'm trying to figure out where he's at. I don't know. Can I invite from? I don't know. Hang on, guys. And Phil wants to talk about Pymander and Genesis and the correlations there and the cosmic relationship between through time, and the Nagamati and the origins of the world. So that's what he wants to discuss. So that's fine with me. He's uh he's a very, very astute researcher, if I could put it, generically. I consider him a mentor, somebody that I look to for answers in a spiritual sense, because there isn't many people that you can feel at home in your heart as to telling you things they truly know versus things they're speculating on or opinion has been formed around. You ask a lot of people these days on what something is, and half of that answer of what something is today is opinionated or contrived or something they've attached to what they're trying to describe. Because once you own something, take it in and believe it, it becomes part of you. And that's the reason for us digging our heels in when somebody attacks our belief system, right? The belief system we hold is determinant on what? What determines it? What determines your belief system? All the input since you were a kid. So therefore, you're programmed. What are you programmed for? To get back to my point with the paying it forward thing, even if you have to start programming yourself to pay it forward, it eventually comes free and clear. It just comes. Sorry, I'm looking. And I've helped a few people out lately, as far as stranded people, and I've got a lot of work to do on myself, and that's the main reason why I've been kind of on hiatus. That and working. Working's the main reason, by the way. But yeah, hola, 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 inspirational touch. 3 kind deeds a day, like Matthew Belair says. Yes, just don't play in them. Right. What's up, Eric? So is that why you get more awareness? It's all moving and being absorbed faster? It would be. We are all just seeking confirmation bias. we're all seeking, we're all stranded, metaphorically speaking. Very good. Very good, Michelle. That's awesome. I like that. We're all stranded on the side. What's up, Pete Turtle? I like turtles. How you doing? Nice to see you. And sorry, I got my head looking down because I'm looking at my phone. You know, my recently insured phone that I pay out my wazoo for. Regulating the system. Every day I don't strangle my crazy mom to death is a good deed. Oh wow, Miles. We are the disillusion. I don't believe that. Wim Hof breathing exercises. Oh, you've been watching a lot of Matthew Belair lately, huh, Gary? That dude's he's pretty dedicated to that. He had a Sherpa tent and everything set up by the lake where he was doing his cold water therapy, right? That's not really right, Eric. Yes, he is. He's a good dude. Give Phil the number to join, Steve. Where is he? I did. Can I call again? Well, He's telling me to call again, so I thought you could. It gives him a link, doesn't it? Give it. I'm right now. I'm in Hangouts, so I don't know if I've because I didn't. I didn't renew my prescription, my subscription to Zoom because it's $40, and I didn't know if I was going to be doing any live streams. So there you go. It is what it is. I'm cheap. Well, kids aren't cheap these days either, though. But yeah, sorry. I've had a cold. I've been quiet all the time. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've the only prescription is more cowbell, right? Hey Phil, I'm live right now on. I just sent you an invitation.
Didn't get it.
Through your email?
Nothing. There's nothing there.
Really?
Yeah, nothing. Literally nothing.
I've sent you 5, 6 of them.
No, there's nothing. Not even one.
Wow, that's weird.
Something's not working. Yeah, something's not working, man.
So I'm gonna try it again.
Well, we're here now.
No, we're not on we're not on YouTube right now.
Zoom.
No, I'm not on Zoom. I'm on Hangouts.
Okay.
It's a Hangout invite.
Do you wanna? Yeah. Do you wanna send me some? I don't know how. If it doesn't appear, I don't know how it's gonna work.
I think you got to go to your email.
I'm in my email
now. Go to
the last 2 messages.
Go to the Hangout thing. Your Google account. It's through Google, I think. Like on how we're friends on YouTube.
Yeah, you mean Google Plus?
Yeah, I think so. Is your email Phil Langdon 27@googlemail.com?
It's Phil.Langdon.
Yeah, Phil.Langdon 27@googlemail.com.
That's it. That's me.
Yeah, that's where I've been sending it.
There's nothing there. The last 2 bits on the last email stream are my messages back to you.
Oh, wow. I've sent you like 8 emails since then.
No, they didn't come through.
You just got notified for something? There they are, huh?
I've got another phone call.
You don't think I know what I'm doing here? There you are. Hey.
Steve.
So what? You had to refresh your email or what? What's that up? What's up with that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You okay, bud?
Huh?
I said, are you okay? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. Thanks, dude. I'm just trying to figure out why everything's going wrong.
It's because you're talking to me on about certain topics, I think.
You think we're targeted?
No, I don't think we're targeted. I'm not that paranoid, but I think there's an algorithm. Listen to this now. Recently, today, I was or no, it wasn't today. It was 2 days ago. I was talking to my kids about a certain subject about clouds. We were talking about clouds in the car driving.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every time I turn on my weather app, there's a definition for cloud types.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple. They got robots and algorithms or AI following our words, and that's how they integrate it into some system to regulate information. I swear to God, they do.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but I don't. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. It's. I think it's to oversee and overlook where humans are at. What they think about, what they talk about, what they're into, all that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. When you bring up a couple of hot button words, or the word chemtrail,
Uh
stuff
huh.
like that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's right.
and that's why the whole Christchurch thing's going on right now too. I believe is because they're trying to get the truth community off the ball. You know what I mean?
Right. To be honest, the truth community doesn't know the truth, which is a bit.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
I am sorry to have to say that. That's what I feel.
But
You know,
then,
and
but then you have to factor in the fact that what we see here in this platform, is it really the truth? Any of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And and even the
yeah.
truthers are taken down a road to where they say everything's CGI when people actually died, and you know what I mean?
Uh huh. Uh
And
huh.
and that's that whole aspect. What do you think about that?
Right. Specifically, I don't know. Specifically about what, Steve?
About how they're like double crossing us, making us think that or they how if you've ever paid attention to the YouTube community, how creators once a subject comes up, it'll just take off, and that's all you'll see and hear about for a while, like a fad almost. You know.
Yeah,
Now,
I know what you mean. I don't understand why certain videos go high up. It might be tricks. Some people actually buy thousands of views when they put the video up from YouTube. You can buy views,
I just heard that.
and
Yep.
yeah, and it makes it look like it's a really popular video, and everyone's watching it. And hey, you should get in on this act. you know,
Yep. Yep, and
it's just
that's how they start. They actually start channel after channel after channel. A bunch of these people, and they've got software programs running it all, and that's where
right.
the whole computer voice comes from. Yeah, so
Uh
yeah,
huh.
I was gonna comment on that right afterwards, but yeah, you're exactly right. So
Right. Right.
you wanted to talk today about Hermes and our the Pymander and Genesis correlation, or what did you exactly
Yeah.
wanted to speak about?
Yeah, I got a shock last week in whatever time that I had allocated or spare to look at, because I'm writing a third book, and the idea of the book is that I'm going through all the major flood myths, and basically the old myths from the past to see how they compare with each other. And every time I come across one, I'm having to put the same graphics into it every single time. And after I've read three of them, and they're completely different from completely different times, they're all exactly the same. It's not the same text. They are the same document. They're telling you the same thing over and over again.
Oh
And I got a shock when I went back to the Corpus Hermeticum. It's been a long time since I've sort of exposed my mind to anything hermetic that's traditional, like the Corpus Hermeticum. And immediately I got a shock. I'd just been dealing with On the Origins of the World, a Gnostic text, putting all the graphics into it. That's basically exactly the same as Genesis. And I read Poimander's, the first chapter of the Corpus Hermeticum, and it's telling me the same thing again. And I got the impression that I could have written that, which is really weird to my mind, that it sounds and reads so normal, the Poimander's chapter.
to you, right? Not to
Are you
us.
uh, are you familiar? Are you familiar with that
with
particular
the with
chapter,
the
Steve?
Pymander, the
Yeah.
when he's sitting in the desert and the Pymander comes to him.
I think it is. Yeah, it's the very
Yeah,
first chapter in the
yeah,
court. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yep, yeah. I don't. I started. I can. I can vaguely understand it right now, and that's just from the limited knowledge I've learned, talking to you and doing more research on the truth, what the real truth is.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you
right.
said. What did
It,
you what did
yeah,
you mean by that? Nobody knows the truth. So why don't you elaborate on what you just said there earlier?
yeah. I mean, it's as old as the hills, but the truth. I'll use a Hindu expression. The truth is found in Brahman, what they call Brahman. And it's basically the cosmic man or the cosmic being, which is the eternal light and the cosmos that goes round and round in circles at the end of its right hand or right arm. That scenario of those two objects in relationship is the foundations of all the ancient texts. That's what they're talking about. But modern people haven't reestablished that yet. And they're talking about, as we mentioned before, the fifth dimension and all this kind of thing. They're using modern terms and they're making these things up. And they're just sloshing it around, and they end up being buzzwords and phrases, and they've lost track of the normal way of expressing it, because there is a normal way to express it and there is a down to earth way to look at it. But they're losing track of all that. I feel. I just feel as though people have got their head in the clouds. The emails I get tells me that people have their heads in the clouds. Some of these people have been watching YouTube videos for 10 years and they still don't know anything. Do you know what I mean? So they come to me
I
and
know
say, "Look,
exactly.
I'm bamboozled. I've been looking for 10 years into this stuff, and I don't understand any of it." And I say, "Well, yeah, because you're listening to crap, literally. If you just,
Right.
if it doesn't, if you can't relate to it and it doesn't make sense to you, then move on. Look at something else. You know."
Right. Well, that if to be honest with you, if I would have followed that subscription, what you just said, if it
Mm.
don't make sense to me, you know, I wouldn't be
Right.
talking to you right now. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, but there's a difference between stuff that's just literally gobbledygook and made up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
stuff
know what
that,
you mean. I
that
know
might
what you mean by
that
that.
might be it might just be a little beyond your current state of thinking that you haven't got to that point yet. But it's only because we haven't been shown. Had we all been taught this when we were kids, because you can teach children this, it's so simple. If we'd all been taught this, there'd be no problem. You know.
You know how simple it is. It makes complete sense to the kids. Seriously.
Right. Well, they're open-minded still. They haven't got all the prejudice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Right, you are.
that's right. Am I able to share my screen on this
You sure
thing?
are. Yep. You can share whatever you want.
I'm not sure if it's going to work. Tell me if it works.
Okay.
I've just I've just pressed it. No, it's not doing anything. It's this Hangouts thing. It doesn't let me share my screen.
Oh, does it really? If I would have
That is
known
me.
that, I would have renewed my subscription to Zoom. Hang on.
Oh,
Let's see.
okay.
Do I have to put it in settings or something?
I don't know.
Maybe Rainbow can help me out. She does Hangouts all the time. Are you there still, Paula? But I thought you could screen share, or is it only the host?
we, we we can on Zoom, but I can't on this one. It doesn't respond to me when I press it. It doesn't allow me.
When
Do
it
I have
says,
to re-sign in as a guest or something?
I don't know. I'm looking that up right now. I don't think so. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe it's because you're
Okay.
in the UK. Maybe.
I don't know. Is it, when I use Zoom, it allowed me to screen share straight away. But then you invited me as a guest, and it doesn't seem to work the same on this Hangouts thing.
Hmm. Paula says you can. The Hangouts has the share screen option. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Bum.
Yeah, the screen share doesn't respond at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well,
Oh well. Do
that's
you have
tough.
the That's okay. Do you have the graphic of the cosmic relationship yourself to hand?
Yes,
You know, the
I
the
believe.
light the light in the cosmos. If
Yeah, I
you
believe so.
just throw that up, because
Okay.
that's what Poimanders is talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I can go right through my. Let me in the live for a minute, and I'll show you. Well, how do I do that? Oh, I can just say, okay, I'll send you an invite. Yep. Okay. Okay. Paula wants to come in and show us. I don't know if you would just want to talk, or I mean, we don't really have that much time, so yeah, we don't want to go through all that.
Yeah. How much time have you got, Steve?
Well, I've got as much time as you have. It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
You know,
All right. Okay.
like I said, I'd sit and talk to you for 5 hours, and at times.
Yeah, sure.
Just because I got you here, I'm going to keep you here as long as no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I do have.
Right.
So, are you talking about have you looked at the YouTube? You're talking about the cloud. Oh, you wanted to show the cosmic egg relationship to the light?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Do
because
you have one of those?
I got the pineal light. The lion, the boat. I got that as the thumbnail for this video. I didn't know if
Right.
you were.
Okay. I see. Let me just quickly send you. I'm
Yeah,
going
there
to
you
send you
go.
one right now.
That's a better idea.
Okay. Hang on. It won't be a second. I'm just calling your email up again. Come on.
What if Noah was a survivor of Atlantis who would explain the flood? Somebody says. Miles says.
That's a traditional interpretation. That is completely wrong. I'm really sorry. It's totally wrong. Okay, I'm going to send you this. Noah is not a person. He's just written up as a person to personify. Like Krishna, people talk about Krishna like he existed as a human on Earth, but there's no such person. Krishna is a personification of God. Okay, let me show you. I've got
That's funny you say
Poimanders
that
here.
because when I was reading the Emerald Tablets over and over and over again, it was like the 50th time where I
Yeah,
finally started realizing that Thoth isn't a person either.
right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to send you Poimanders. Okay. I'll let it load up and I'll send it to you straight away. God,
Okay.
this thing's slow. Come on, come on.
Yeah, I can't believe Hangouts is working this
Okay.
good. Usually it doesn't. It wasn't working this good.
Yeah, our voices were digitized and stretched and all sorts before.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, my computer's not overheating at the moment, so I think we're doing all right. Okay, I'm going to send it to you now. It's just finished loading. There you go. Right, it's sending.
Okay. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, message sent.
To my Gmail, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but how's your job been handling or treating you?
Yeah, okay. I mean, they sort of pressurize you a bit. You have to load an app onto your phone and keep up with certain changes at work and certain training. There's training on there, the videos you have to watch, questionnaires you have to fill in, all this kind of stuff. It just adds to my day. I haven't got time for all that anyway, but I have to squeeze it in.
Right.
But it's okay. My job's all right. It's very easy. It's just added to my time consumption, if you like, outside of work as well. So I'm supposed to fill these questionnaires in by a certain time and all this kind of stuff. Never had to do that before, but they want it. So
I keep trying to load my Gmail and it just says Gmail turns 15 and it doesn't load my Gmail.
yeah, I know.
Come on. Just one thing after another here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay. Well, it's sent. So when you,
what kind of training? What do you mean? Are they like a half an hour videos or something? Or
no, they're 5 to 10 minute videos. There's a good few of them though. Just about health and safety,
oh,
manual
okay,
handling, how to deal with situations, this sort of thing. Because my job is everything from customer service to fixing things, and sorting things out and liaising with building people and all this sort of thing.
okay. I got this email opened right now. I'm trying to retrieve the attachment.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Please bear with us. It's could be. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one. I did have this one. It's in my freaking. Sorry. The year.
It's all right.
Yeah. There we go. All right. And how do I share it? You just gotta go. Gotta go back to my Hangouts here. Okay. Here we go. Almost there. 2 more seconds. Okay. There you go. You see it?
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Right, that's it. So you see on the right hand side the cosmic being. Yeah, the light is his head, and the cosmos there shown as an egg is his heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the left, on the right of Poimanders, there you have the sun and the moon, which are sort of lower level representations of the cosmic relationship. Because the sun represents your psyche, and as your psyche develops, you develop towards becoming illuminated. So the sun becomes the light, in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not showing it up on the screen for now. I don't know what's going on here.
I can see it.
Oh, you can. Okay, it's just not on my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen. Yeah. And
Okay. Good.
Poimanders is holding a version of the cosmos, basically, in his hand. He's got a single, what looks like an orb with a sort of ribbon wrapped around it that's polarized. You can't see it though, Steve, right?
No, I can see it. I just can't see it on YouTube though. I'm watching YouTube on my phone, and I can't
Oh,
see.
right.
Yeah, I can't see it through there.
It's not being shown.
No.
Right.
Okay. How about now?
I can't tell. I haven't got YouTube open.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Let me try this one more time.
Mm.
Oops. One more time. Yeah, it's showing this. What the heck? Hey, hey, you still there?
You there? Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
I'll see you for a moment.
What a joke.
Hear me?
Wow. Here we go.
Steve?
Just crazy, dude. I don't understand this. I don't hear any. Hello? Wonderful.
Still you there?
I don't know what's going
I
on.
can hear you again now. Yeah, I got you again. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Steve?
Oh my God.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? There, now I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Sorry, dude. Now I can hear you.
That's right.
That's frustrating. So very frustrating. You know, it's ridiculous how frustrating it is.
Yeah. Now I got you. You came
Yeah.
back.
Yep, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Here, I'm gonna get that picture again
Oh,
here.
good. Okay. Yeah.
We got too many here. Uh,
Right.
okay, but yeah, dude, let's just move on. I don't even want to go there again because it'll probably end up screwing us over again. Yeah,
Freezing us.
you know, because I think
Okay.
it's the bandwidth issue. You know, I don't know what the heck it is, but maybe it's my computer. I don't know.
All
Something
right.
just doesn't work well when I'm trying to do too many things with this computer.
Right. Okay. Well, with the cosmic relationship in mind, I can read you a portion of Poimander's that describes it specifically.
Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Okay. So the voice of Poimandus was heard, but his form was not revealed. And he says, I, thy God, am the light and the mind, which were before substance was divided from spirit and darkness from light. And the word which appeared as a pillar of flame out of the darkness is the Son of God. So he's just identified the light in the abyss as the Son of God,
Okay.
born of the mystery of the mind, because it's born from the mind, and the mystery in the mind is unifying duality. Yeah, that's a mystery to you until you get there. And of course, the mystery of the mind is the fact that the mind can produce this. The name of that word is reason. This is what really interests me because he's reiterating what I talk about in the sense that you've got to keep your feet planted in the ground of reality. And you have to use reason and common sense because truth is sense and reasonable. Yeah. Even to the singular nature that it has. Are you still there, Steve? I seem to have lost you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Ah, okay. So I got to the name of that word is reason. Yeah, the reason. Reason is the offspring of thought, and reason shall divide the light from the darkness and establish truth in the midst of the waters. In other words, reason establishes truth, the light, in the waters of the abyss.
Yep.
Understand, O Hermes, and meditate deeply upon the mystery so that you can understand and find the abyss. That which in you sees and hears is not of the earth, but is the word of God incarnate. In other words, you are not just a physical body. Your awareness is spiritual and divine already. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it is said that divine light dwells in the midst of mortal darkness, and ignorance cannot divide them. This link between heaven and earth, or heaven and creation, otherwise known as the light, is indestructible. It's impossible that it cannot exist. It exists eternally, forever. So it's reliable in that sense, and unlike the cosmos, which disappears and reappears and disappears all the time. That's the first portion of that Poimandus is saying. There's another paragraph that I want to read out. because it says the union of the word and the mind. The word is the word of God is the truth, but the word of God is also the logos, which is the light, which is the truth of flesh. So the union of the word and the mind, that's when you produce it, produces that mystery, which is called life. So it's saying that the light is the producer of life, or the cosmos, which it is, it's the creator. As the darkness without you is divided against itself, so the darkness within you is likewise divided. The light and the fire which rise are the divine man, ascending in the path of the word. That's following the truth, pursuing truth and understanding. And that which fails to ascend is the mortal man, which may not partake of immortality. So what he's saying is that when you find this light, you gain immortality. But there's a misunderstanding with the word immortality, because people associate it with the physical life only. In other words, I'm not immortal physically. Nobody is. Yeah, nobody ever is.
Right.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
No, I'm starting up my heater in my office.
Oh, okay.
I've got my video off so we can not suck so much bandwidth. But yeah,
Right.
now
Okay. So the last,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying that, sorry, man. The last line of this says, "Learn deeply of the mind and its mystery, for therein lies the secret of immortality." That's right. I mean, most people in the modern world would probably consider that to be gibberish and rubbish, but that is exactly right. I cannot help but concur and conclude that the corpus hermeticum is nothing but truth.
Yeah, for some reason I've always felt that, even when I didn't understand it.
Hmm.
So what time matters? What that's saying right there is the true immortality is in the mind, meaning that we create that light in union with God, right? I mean, that's the whole.
Yeah,
We're the beginning and the end of it, right?
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. He's basically just getting straight to the point in those two paragraphs. He's told you everything in just two paragraphs. So he's told you about union with God. He's told you about the word as logos and that produced by the mind, and that you gain immortality when you find it through seeking the mystery of reason. You understand the oneness behind the duality that we are normally privy to, that we see in the world. Everything is relative in the universe and the cosmos. So a human might conclude that that's all there is, that there is no absolute, but there is an absolute beyond that, and
Is
he's
isn't
identifying.
is reason in the tree of life too? The Sephirotic tree of life, is it associated with a certain archon, or because I know there's Shakma
Yeah.
is Shakma Bina.
Hmm. You could associate it with wisdom. Reason and wisdom go together.
Okay, yeah, I think that was subjugated or subdivided in there. Yeah, maybe you're right. But I remember
Uh-huh.
seeing it on a tree of life scheme. The
Or
reason,
the actual word reason.
yeah, associated with a sphere, or one of the in the tree Sephirotic tree of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
because
The
Shakma,
10 archons.
what's the correct way to say Shakma and Bina? Am I saying it, pronouncing them right? Or
Yeah, basically, yeah, Bina and so I think some people would say Chokmah.
Hakma? Okay, that's where I'm going
Yeah,
wrong then.
Chokmah. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that. I'm not big on Hebrew pronunciation.
Yeah, because I've said it before to people and tried to type it out or explain it, and they were confused. And I
Mm.
think you're right there. That's why they get confused, because I'm saying
Hmm.
Shakma instead of Yakma, or whatever Yakma. So yeah,
Chokmah.
Hakma.
Or Chokmah. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's just
there goes the bibble babble, confusing of the language of the tongue, right? But go on, sir. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm sorry.
yeah. That's okay. So what we have there is Poimanders pointing out, really getting to the point. He doesn't waste words, Poimanders. I noticed that there's no waffling. in the corpus hermeticum at all. You know, it's just completely poignant all the time, staying with the point.
I've got a very pertinent question in my mind. Anyway, if all of
Mm.
this stuff is super important and everything, why not just come out and say exactly what it is?
What do you mean? Say what it is.
You know, why in why put it behind a veil of like the Pymander story? Why is it because of the language barrier or the cultural or the time barrier? You know what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's an issue when you have, if you're talking to someone who is of a certain level of ignorance and they don't know their ass from their elbow, let's say, all this stuff about poimanders is just going to go over their head. They're not going to be interested. I think it's spoken in a certain way to not have people waste any time, because I get some intellectuals emailing me sometimes with very unusual questions, and the answer to their question is extremely obvious, but they can't seem to see it. But when you explain it to them, they still don't get it, and they ask even more weird questions, which just proves that their mind is focused on something that has nothing to do with reality, and they want to try and prove whatever it is they have in their mind to themselves. So there's this issue of having time wasted or wasting time, and some people are only there to they only, it's as if they only want to waste your time. You got the answers, they're not interested in your answers, they're only interested in wasting your time. So there's this, um, you know, the expression, do not cast pearls before swine.
Right as soon as you started talking, it's so weird that you said that, Phil. That's exactly what I thought was going to come out of your mouth instantly. Was that
Right, right. That's an issue. If you're talking to a crowd on the internet, for instance, it doesn't really apply because some people are not swine that are listening to you. But if you've got a
right?
crowd of people that you know are not going to understand a word you have to say, there's no point in talking to them. You'll have to talk to them at their level and not mention anything higher up because they're nowhere near that, so they can't even contemplate that. You know, so the question is, who are you talking to and who is listening? What state of mind are they in? It's fine. You're you know, bodhisattva. That's wonderful, great. But if you have to talk to a regular person, are you going to be able to do that? And how are you going to do that? And you're not going to be able to talk about highfalutin stuff with them. You know, it's just not in the conversation. So there is this issue of not hiding things, but writing things in a certain way so that people's time isn't wasted. That's not a very good way to express it. I'm
You
trying
have
to
to.
find
I
it.
think what you're trying to get at here is you have to be at a certain level of understanding before you can understand. You know, be deserved
Appreciate.
or right. I mean,
Yeah, kind of. It's just that some people who think they are at the high level of understanding, the so-called intellectuals,
mhm.
they will waste your time all day, all week with ridiculous questions because they think they're being clever. Can you give me 2 seconds? I've just got to plug the computer in. I'd only have to go and get the
Well,
lead. Okay, I'll be
take
two
your time, buddy.
seconds.
Take your time. Right. And yeah, anybody in chat here, if you have a question, just put a capital Q and then your question, and I'll take it. I am not good at conversations. I ask questions about everything. Right. When one shows knowledge to newbies, cognitive dissonance usually occurs. This is very true. Parables came in 8:30. Hi, nice to see you here. Odie Odin, what's up, buddy? Paul from Newcastle, nice to see you. Glad you guys could join us. And
Oh,
yeah, I got a pretty good showing here so far. I appreciate y'all
okay.
being here. And sorry about the confusion and the dropping out and all that stuff. Asking the question or as king on a quest. All right. Questions, arguing, debating.
You're going through stuff you're getting on the chat.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying hi to everybody and whatnot. Yeah, but everybody appreciates you being here, Phil, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us.
Steve?
Did you hear me?
No, I missed all of that.
Oh,
Yeah, I've just got you back now.
I said everybody appreciates you being here, and we appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to come talk with us.
That's all right. I just wish we had a bit better with the graphics so I could actually talk about what we're seeing. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Zoom capabilities back. Definitely,
Okay.
because this.
Was that was it temporary with Zoom?
Yeah, I didn't renew my subscription because I didn't know if I was going to be using it or not. Because if I do live streams just with myself or whatever talking, then Hangouts is the
Yeah.
way to go. But people are, I've got busy. I can't do much on YouTube right now because I just went back to work. So winter is just styling for me. So
Right.
that's yeah.
Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you, sir.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. So you're not able to get any graphics up, are you?
Graphics. What do you want to show? Hello. Hello.
Steve? Yeah. Can you hear me again?
I can hear you.
Something's going wrong. My computer is stopping and freezing and then coming back. You've gone again.
Yeah, I think it's because you're punching on the computer on your keyboard.
No,
I'm,
I'm not touching it.
I'm kidding. No, I just
Oh,
heard
I
a
see.
tap, tap, tap. So,
I see. Yeah, yeah. That's me trying to move the mouse cursor.
oh, I can hear you.
Okay.
Are you?
So are you,
Go ahead.
Steve? Are
Yep.
you able to get any graphics
Yeah. What do you want to?
up?
Did you email me something?
No. Are you able to get any graphics up
Graphics. Yeah.
on your
What do
screen?
you need?
The cosmic relationship, so people can see what we're talking about.
Okay. Yep. 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 Let me retrieve it here again. Give me 1 second. Yeah. All right. All right, give me 1 second here. I'm working on it. I'm not very good with this Hangouts thing.
Yeah, same.
All right. Okay. I don't know. I just had the picture up and I don't know what happened to it now. There it is right here. Yeah, my computer's just lagging big time.
Right.
Big time. Okay, so sorry. This sucks. Yeah, I should have just paid for the subscription, man. Oh well. Oh, here we go. There. It should be up now. Hello? Now we got the picture and we got no Phil.
Ah, I'm back.
Yeah.
Can you
You
hear
see
me?
the picture now? Yes.
Yeah, I can see it.
Good.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, because as you put that up, my computer froze. It must be a reaction to your, the activity or something.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So so you got Poimanders on the left there. Just so people know what Poimanders means, it means shepherd of men.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. It's like saying shepherd of men. So it's like looking at a pharaoh in a way. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Or the personification known as Jesus Christ is the same as Poimanders. There's no distinction.
I just had an epiphany right there when you said that because of Anu is considered what is it, the shepherd of the gods, right?
I'm not sure. I need to look it up. Hang on.
Okay, sorry. No, you don't have
That's
to look it up. But I mean, that's it. That is that why there's a shepherd's crook and a flail in their hand, in the Pharaoh's hands?
I completely missed all that, Steve. Sorry. Can you say that again?
Is that why there's a shepherd's crook and a flail in the Egyptians' hands when they're depicted in their hieroglyphs?
Yeah. The shepherd's crook is to say he's a shepherd of men,
Yep, yep,
and not just animals. Yeah. And the flail is a representation of acquiring the truth because the truth hurts.
yep.
It berates you when you get it wrong. Yeah.
Yes, very, very eloquently put. Yes, I agree.
Right. So the flail berates people. It's like
Yep,
the beration of incorrectness. Yeah. But it's like saying you're a judge. You become a judge when you're a shepherd of men because you know the truth.
right. Oh,
So
I'm so frustrated with.
you there, Steve?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just.
Yeah. Oh,
It's almost just. It's disheartening that Google can just be so shoddy at times, but so perfectly pure at others. It's just ridiculous, is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So if you keep that picture up,
Yep.
yeah. I'm gonna read you a little snippet from. I don't know whether anyone's familiar with this Gnostic text from the Nag Hammadi library, but it's one of the least favorite texts because it's so difficult to fathom and understand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called. It has no title, so the title that the guys who are dealing with the Nag Hammadi library scrolls gave it was "On the Origins of the World."
Yes, I just listened to that audiobook of that one. Yeah.
Right, and I've listened to about 5 different groups of people trying to deal with this text, and none of them understand it at all.
Nice.
So there is no source on the planet that can explain this to you. You see, that this is the big problem. If people don't know what the Gnostic texts are talking about, they're not going to grasp anything.
Right.
People are just making up their own interpretations. So the very first paragraph defines the cosmic relationship, but nobody realizes that. Okay,
You
so
sure
can I
can,
just read
sir?
that to you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it says how well it suits all men on the subject of chaos to say that it is a kind of darkness, but in fact it comes from a shadow, which has been called by the name darkness. So what he's just told you there is that the cosmos, which is in the abyss is infinite. Space is the abyss, and it's infinite. Period. The cosmos is finite within that space, and it's in a certain place defined by you and God together as axis of an infinite abyss or expanse. Okay, and what he's calling chaos is the cosmos, and what he's calling darkness is the abyss or the underworld. So he carries on and says, and the shadow comes from a product. That's the cosmos comes from a product which is the light that has existed since the beginning. Because when you generate the abyss, the first thing that's generated is the light as its center. effectively. It goes on and says, it is moreover clear that it existed before chaos came into being. In other words, he's just told you the light comes first. Chaos is the cosmos. And that the latter, chaos, is posterior to the first product, which is the light. So the cosmos comes after the light. The light comes first, that's what you make, and it generates the cosmos in the abyss. Let us therefore concern ourselves with the facts of the matter, and furthermore with the first product, which is the light, from which chaos was projected, that's the abyss, or and the underworld, in fact, because the abyss is referred to as the ocean of chaos. But this guy is using the word chaos without the title ocean of chaos to talk about the cosmos, because it's a chaotic, hot motion entity in a very cold, infinite, pitch black abyss. Are you still with me?
Yep, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then it says, after the natural structure of the immortal beings, which are the Sephirot of the Tree of Life, had completely developed out of the infinite, a likeness then emanated from pistis. Pistis is Greek for faith, and pistis is specifically the cosmos. She's not just the ocean of chaos or the abyss, which is also considered to be feminine. She is specifically the cosmos.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
We make the light, even though the light makes the cosmos. So there's this.
You cut out
Can you
there
hear
for a
me?
second.
Oh, okay. Did you catch that I was talking about pistis?
Yeah, Pistis, and she's the cosmos.
Yeah, she's the cosmos. Yeah. It's saying a likeness emanated from pistis or the cosmos. That's called Sophia, which is wisdom, which is the light. So he's identifying the light as not only, he's going to talk about the light as Yaldabaoth, the male creature, but he's identifying the light as the result of wisdom. And he's calling it Sophia, which is a feminine title. Yeah?
Yep.
Everything to do with manifestation is considered fundamentally to be female because God is considered to be the father. Yeah?
Including
The
us.
light.
That's why we're the
Yeah.
bride, right?
We are female. They're basically feminine. Yeah, the cosmos is a female, and the product of the cosmos, which is the light, is now being considered as female, even though it can be talked about as male. And in this same text, it actually identifies it in the same sentence as being male and androgynous. So that must be incredibly confusing to people who are trying to make sense out of this or rationalize it. It's going to sound like gobbledygook, and as if the writer doesn't know what he's talking about, but he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's passing over explanations that you're supposed to already know.
Phil,
Yeah,
uh, dude, I got to tell you, up until right now, I didn't
yeah,
get what you meant by that. You know what I mean? That's the one thing
yeah.
I was always confused on. How
What's
you
that?
just explained it right there, hit the nail on the head, and it made me realize the whole relationship, cosmic relationship. Now, you know,
Right, right.
the female and the I understood that we are the bride, and within us is the reason why God inseminates us with the truth, and right. I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
now, I get it now, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So
It's
we,
beautiful.
yes, as the female, we give birth to the light. So it is our child, and we are its mother.
Wow, I get it now,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, that aspect of it, it makes way more sense.
Right.
Yeah,
So
go
real
on.
life that we experience, the physical life, is full of this cosmic relationship at every single level. It's simply repeated like a fractal. So there are men and women who get together and make babies. It's exactly the same with God and the cosmos and the light. That's precisely that relationship.
And it's on all levels too within the person, the androgynous, or wow, it's just incredible, dude.
Right. So yeah, I mean,
Wow.
the light is not male or female. It's
Yeah.
androgynous. It's a thing, but we can talk about it as a male object. a boy child because it's born at the top of your nervous system, which is phallic, and in that sense, it's the head of a phallus, and a phallus is male, so it's male, and yet it's androgynous, and yet it can also be spoken of as being female because it's a product of a female, and it's the highest of the female as well. Yeah,
Right.
as a female, it's Sophia. It's Sophia when it's female, when you talk about it in female terms. But if you talk about it in male terms, it's Yaldabaoth. But they're the same thing.
And is that what you mean by you become above the light when once you're capped from above, or once you find the truth
Yeah, yeah. You separate from its automatic nature. You are no longer a slave to the automatic.
to the demiurge?
Yeah, the demiurge is automatic. The creation is automatic. Everything that's automatic is indifferent and doesn't give a damn about you. You see, because it's a
Yeah.
physical manifestation that there's no personal relationship there as such. There's no emotion involved with it. There's no feeling. There's no great intelligence. There's no on-the-spot intelligence. There's inherent intelligence as if it's been programmed, but that's all. So it's just like a program that's running.
I'm almost in tears here, man, because I can't believe the gravity of what you just learned me. I mean, wow, dude,
Yeah, a very, very simple distinction, isn't it? Just to recognize that all
it's just
physical
crazy.
manifestation is automatic, and that you are already beyond that anyway. But you just need to realize and understand the mystery, as Poimander says, the mystery of the mind, the oneness behind all of it. That's what you're looking for. The truth is singular, so you look for the singular.
You there, Phil? You're cutting up. But yeah, I think what Phil is
Thing and
saying.
be there.
Oh, yeah, I'm there. Sorry, but I was just gonna fill in until you came back. I don't know what's going on, brother, but yeah, we lost you at I don't know,
Oh,
3 sentences ago, I think.
oh God.
At when you were explaining,
the
I
auto,
can't remember.
the automatic nature of physical
Yes,
manifestation.
yes,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah. Yes, you do rise above it. You become more than it. You are more than it in the first place. But until you know that for yourself, you're subject to it as a slave to the automatic. Yeah. So
yes, and
you are truly gaining your freedom by rising above it.
that's why the Gnostics considered it or portrayed it as a bad thing in their texts, right? I mean,
Yeah,
because they
that's
felt like they were slaves to that.
that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's just crazy.
yeah.
I've got wow. I'm floored right now, Phil, and I appreciate it, man. I
That's cool.
totally do.
Yeah, right. Cool. Have you actually spent much time on the Nag Hammadi scrolls yourself?
Not much time. I've listened to a lot of interpretations of it, and I probably shouldn't do that because, that's probably why I was blinded by the light, so to speak. No pun intended, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, whenever you listen to anyone interpreting Gnostic texts, you got to keep in mind: is this making any sense to you? What these people are saying? Because some of the things that I've heard
Yes, it's all archonic this and evil that and bad this and bad that and
make me cringe. Because they are not going to make sense to people, and the people talking about it are just trying to appear as though they know what they're talking
yes.
about and have authority when they have zero knowledge about what they're saying. It's
Isn't it
so
odd that the majority of people tend to stick to the negative aspects of the automatic, you know?
Yeah, because they don't know what's beyond it. Until you meet what's beyond it, you're not going to know for sure. It's always going to be a guess that there's something, above it or beyond it, And I feel most people just give up.
Right. Because they figure it's way too far above their pay grade, right?
Yeah, yeah, they get the impression that it's too far for them to reach.
Yep.
When that's not the case at all. This world will bamboozle you and make you think you know nothing, when in fact you're doing pretty well. necessarily. Not everybody, of course, but you can certainly get the impression that you're worthless and that you'll never get anywhere by listening to people in this world, that are full of negativity.
Yes.
So
For
don't listen to that. You are the divinity itself. Remember that, and remember you can make it. If I made it, and I'm a regular person, then anyone can. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. It's
Right.
just right now, around you, everywhere you look, it's just nothing downtrodden nonsense. It's everywhere, and but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the whole point, though, isn't it?
Well, the confusion. You wanna keep people under your thumb. You got to keep them confused.
Yep.
Yeah. So they can't find definition. So you
Right.
need to go through definition. This is about finding definition. I've spent the last 4 years trying to define what that experience with the light was, and it took me 4 years to get to the cosmic relationship. But I was using rigor, which a lot of people in the New Age don't even think about.
They don't even know what rigor means. They're thinking you're talking about a dead corpse. Hello, man.
Time.
You cut out again there, buddy.
Yeah. You went silent as well.
Yeah, I said people don't. I interrupted at rigor. You said rigor, and I said, well, people don't even know what rigor is. They think you're talking about a dead corpse.
Oh, what, like rigor mortis?
Yeah.
Yeah, so rigor is simply being rigorous and making sure, and not just jumping to a conclusion. Like I hear a lot of people talking about this kind of thing. They don't know what they're talking about, but they're convinced they know somehow. So when I ask them, "How do you know that what you're saying is correct?" and they'll avoid answering that because they can't prove it.
Okay, let me ask
Yeah.
you that question then, Phil. How do you know? Because that's what everybody asks me. How do you know Phil knows? And I said I just do. So but explain how you know, Phil.
Right, two things to start with. One thing I know because I've experienced it, and all I can do is talk about it. You have to take my word for it in a way, but then I thought, well, maybe I can prove myself by explaining things clearly and definitively, so that anyone else can see that what I'm saying makes sense and is reasonable.
Right.
So really, ultimately, you're never going to know whether what I'm saying is true until you experience it, rely on what I'm saying. You can test what I'm saying and prove it to yourself as a result. What I'm saying is find the truth, which is singular. So you look for the truth and you'll find it by yourself. Then you see the light for yourself, and then you'll agree with me. But then when you tell everybody else that you agree with me, they'll start asking you questions and saying, well, how do you know? How do you know you saw the light? You sure you weren't dreaming? Was that a real experience?
Exactly.
But they can never know until they experience it for themselves, and then they'll experience that everybody else doesn't believe them. You see?
Right. And I found it's like, yeah, I run up against a wall when I start referencing things you say, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And people are just like, well, what makes him any better than us? I said he doesn't. He's not any better than us. He's
that's
just
right.
he knows something that I don't, so
That's
I'm
right.
gonna go there. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
you know what I'm talking about there.
yeah. I mean, a lot of the text, especially Hermes or Poimandres, refers to seeing the light as looking through the illusion and the veil and seeing what is truly behind it. Exactly like the end of the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy's little dog pulls back the curtain and there's a little old man there, pulling levers and pressing buttons.
Right.
And there is no great and powerful Oz. It's all a trick. It's all a visual trick. It's an illusion, like the cosmos and the creator. Sure, they exist eternally, but they are what's behind what you think is real. They are real. This is not. This is transient. So it's not real. If it doesn't last, it isn't real.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Hello?
Only that which is real is that which lasts.
You cut out again.
Can you hear me, Steve? I keep
No,
thinking we've shut off.
we did.
Oh,
Uh, we were. This isn't real, but
it's
but the
the
cosmic
cosmos.
relationship is.
The cosmic relationship is real in the sense that it always exists, but the cosmos comes and goes in that relationship. Yeah,
Okay.
it starts up, it expands to a maximum, and it shrinks to a minimum. Then it starts up again. When it goes to a minimum, it basically disappears.
Oh, so is that the uptick in this knowledge coming forth now? Is that are we on the in breath or are we on the exhale? Can you elaborate on that? Hello.
Yeah. We're on the expansion phase, so I'm all the way through the universal
We're about
cycle.
halfway, you say?
No, about a quarter to a third
Okay.
of the way through, because we're on the expansion is accelerating at the moment.
Okay. And that's
Okay.
that's where that's why they're trying to figure out what's causing the uptick in the expansion, right?
That's right. Yeah, they don't understand. Yeah, they don't know about the cosmic cycle because in physics, there's a tendency not to look ahead with a particular model in mind. They come up with models to suggest, maybe this will happen, maybe that will happen, but they do not understand the nature of the cosmos in the first place. If they did, they'd produce a decent model that they could actually relate to what's going on and not come up with all these weird and
Is he cutting out on live stream too,
fancy
guys?
titles.
I don't know if you're cutting out just on my end or on the YouTube.
Steve, I lost you for a good 30 seconds there, dude. I don't know whether you heard what I was saying.
I'm so sorry, Phil.
That's all right.
You were talking of what was I? I last heard. Oh God, I don't know. It was about 15 seconds, I think.
Oh, okay. I was basically repeating what I said earlier.
Oh yeah,
So
the you said we're a third of the way through the cycle, and if they didn't, they don't understand the cosmic cycle. Is where I lost you.
that's, that's right. Yeah. So they have no decent model to use
Yeah,
to
there.
compare
That's where I lost
to compare with what's happening. See, they have to guess. They plod like it's like looking at the ground while you're walking along and not looking up at the sky.
you. Yes, and
Yeah, you
wondering
see
why
what
it's
I mean?
raining.
Yeah, they're looking at details on the ground and not pulling back their vision to look at the whole scene. Yeah,
Gotcha. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
The physics doesn't recognize the kingdoms, which is I find very strange.
And the kingdoms being the principles.
The kingdoms is the natural normal development cycle from energy to the human rational being.
Okay, explain that,
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah, so you have the first kingdom is the abyss with the light. The second
Okay.
kingdom is the generation of the cosmos and radiation and energy. You have vector motion, because the cosmic the infinite abyss is a scalar field, so there's no motion in it. There's no vector. So with the cosmos, you have vector, which is motion or velocity. Yet light has a constant velocity. So the first thing is light, which is constant velocity, which is radiation.
And that's
Um,
mentalism, right?
no, mentalism comes before that.
Okay, that's correspondence then.
Yeah, no, the correspondence will be the abyss with the light in
Okay.
correspondence to the creative principle that you experience. Yeah, that's correspondence. Then you have vibration. Yeah,
Yep.
so vibration is akin to radiation or the motion of light
Yep.
or vector light, as I would call it. Not still light, but vector light. Then you go to the atomic level.
Hello?
And then the molecular level, the creator is building something with the cosmos. He's building the ability to recreate himself. But he can't directly recreate himself because he himself is eternal and he can't make anything eternal. Yeah?
You're right.
Right. So from the molecular, which is the mineral kingdom, you go to the vegetable, the animal, which is capped off by the rational human being on Earth. And they, through their mentalism, create a correspondence between themselves and the creator, the creative principle, to complete that loop. Yeah. So the creator as light can only make that which is transient, but God can make that which is eternal, which is that light.
And that's
So
the
even though
everlasting life that we
yes,
all cherish or want.
yeah, immortality
Yeah.
is what we're here to achieve. Yeah, basically, that's right.
And what does that achievement in essence do for the ineffable?
Right. In a way, we could talk about this for hours. In a way, you are generating heaven.
Okay, yep.
Yep. This issue of ascension is the generation of heaven, even though heaven already exists. Here's one of the biggest problems with explaining this to anyone who thinks in normal, rational, linear terms, is that these issues are timeless. So they always exist. So if heaven always exists, what is the point of creating it?
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
the
Steve?
everybody's always looking for a beginning and an end is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. The beginning and end is in manifestation. There is no such thing with the ineffable. Ineffable has no beginning. It simply is.
Right.
Oh, I thought you'd gone again. You're very, very quiet.
No,
I
we
thought,
did. No, we did cut out at
yeah,
right before my last question right there. But yeah,
right. Yeah, so we're basically generating heaven in the process. We're creating the completion of our own existence. And in that sense, we are literally portions of God. We are God experiencing the manifestation
Phil. Hello. Oh my,
so that we can achieve our. What you achieve is timeless. Immortality is timeless, so it already exists. But you still have to go through the process to create it.
Phil. The
Yeah.
every time you start saying something that's gonna mean something, you cut
Mm.
out, dude. Every time now.
Oh man. Oh my God.
And yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I'm just
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the screen share and then explain. Say your last sentence, what you just said to me, without the
Yeah.
screen share.
Even though heaven is timeless and eternal, and basically the beginnings and the origin of all things, we still have to create it because there's a distinction in the ineffable between love and truth. So I'd associate love as being undefined, just as the ineffable can be thought of as an infinite expanse. The opposite extreme of that is poignant definition. One without the other is incomplete. So our foundation must be ineffable, which is love, which is permanently like that. So we can always jump back to it, which is what people talk about in near-death experience. You know, they experience the love again, but they haven't found definitive truth yet. So they haven't completed heaven. They haven't rounded out their existence and the existence, because we come from God. Therefore, we round out the existence, not just our own existence. It still has to be done. You still have to go through the motions to produce heaven in yourself so that it does exist.
Wonderful. That's I heard most of what you said,
Right,
and it was just the beginning that cut out. And
right.
it's no wonder why everybody thinks that the cards are stacked against them, because when you're
Yeah,
dealing with that sort of thing, we're
yeah. It's just because creation's indifferent. You know, it doesn't care. It doesn't care if it punches you in the face and then slaps you on the back with a joke, you know, and then punch you in the face again. You know what I mean? It just doesn't care.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Thank you, man. Please have another. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So people worry so much about life, you know, physical life, that it's supposed to be perfect. That can never be.
see, hello. See what I'm talking about here?
It will never ever be perfect. So don't expect it. It's just a method. It's a halfway house. This physical place, you know.
Phil,
That's
you're
all.
gonna get
It's a means
frustrated,
to an
and I
end.
hope you don't.
I
But as soon as you said
cut out.
started talking about a different aspect of this, it did it
Yeah.
again.
Oh man.
I mean, we could go on talking about uh, uh, dancing girls and cigars and pot
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
this other shit, and never hear get interrupted once.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not kidding, man. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. It's just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. That's right. My computer is not overheating, so there shouldn't be a problem. But there you go. Oh well. Okay. Yeah.
I apologize, man. I will have my Zoom back up and running here next time I
No,
talk to
that's
you
all right.
because this is
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
it's so frustrating that But deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue on what you were saying about the.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? About getting
Again.
slapped in the face and patted on the back in the same sentence.
Yeah. The nature of the cosmos. One minute you're happy, next minute you feel terrible. You know,
Yes. But
it,
isn't
it
that the
is a
hero?
roller
Isn't
coaster
that the
ride. There's
hero's
no doubt.
journey
It, up
of
until,
the creative principle, the creation principle, right?
yeah, it's just an automatic production of union with God. That's what creation is. It's the production of union with God, and it carries on by itself automatically. You know, God has nothing to do with it after it's created.
Right, and it from the littlest things within us, in our minds, everywhere is just it's just over and over repeated pattern, right? I mean, that's where the whole Fibonacci thing comes from, and all the repeating patterns in nature, correct?
Yeah. The patterns in nature all come from God thrice great. There's this fundamental pattern which is 3 and 4. Everything that exists physically has come from that and is the
Yeah, the serpent
repetition
mound
of it.
effigy is the same, right? That's representation of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that has 3 and 4 kinks in its coil
Right.
in the serpent shape. Yeah, there's 3 and 4 emphasized in that. Yeah, because the tree of life is a grid of 3 and 4 made from the fundamental pattern of 3 and 4, which is the three aspects of God and the production of the light, which is the fourth.
Great. That's
That
wonderful.
that's it. That is the blueprint of everything.
Yeah, I've seen that 3-4 thing on a lot of iconography from the Masons and the
Uh-huh.
Hermetic writings. Yep.
Tradition. That's right. Yeah, the magician's table is a square table of 4, but it only has 3 legs.
Very good.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
God is thrice great. The foundation is 3, but the fourth is the product of that foundation already. Yeah. I just wanted to say that somebody left a comment under one of my videos on YouTube recently. That is a classic comment that might be nice to have a little chat about.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a big problem for people. The guy was saying, as soon as you think you know the truth, that's when you don't. Basically, that's what he said.
Yeah, or the more you know, the more you realize you don't know nothing.
No. In my mind, that's a different statement. What the guy is
Okay.
saying is that no one can ever know the truth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and if anyone says, here is the truth, it is not the truth because nobody can know it. Unfortunately, that doesn't make any sense for him.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've heard that comment over and over again for several years now. And I realized even years ago that it was nonsense, because if a person thinks they have the authority to tell you that you can't know the truth, that means that they don't know the truth themselves. Therefore, they have no authority. If they have no authority, how can they tell you can't know the truth?
Right. And how can they even say that and by what they're saying in the first place? Because
The,
you
the,
know,
the only the only reason somebody would say that is because they don't know the truth
that's what I meant. Yeah. And what do you say to the whole?
themselves. That's all.
Right.
And
What do
it's
you
very
say to the
difficult to
whole
find.
your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth? What do you say to that statement? Hello?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
called
here.
opinion. Steve,
Can you
Steve.
hear me?
Yeah. When someone says, "I have my truth," you have your
Yeah.
truth, I say, no, you don't have any truth. All you have is your opinion.
Yes. Thank you.
Because the truth is the same for everybody. It never changes. You know, the tree outside your house will not suddenly turn into a rabbit overnight. The truth is that is a tree, and it's going to remain a tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So that's what you mean by there's only one truth, and that's the ineffable.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to forget about all your opinions and just look for the truth as it is, what it is, and not worry about your opinions. Your opinions are useful to a certain extent, but nothing more.
Well, opinions turn into beliefs, and beliefs will get you nowhere, right?
Into a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Into a lot of trouble. Yeah,
And
when people start emotionally investing in their opinions and their ideas, that's when trouble starts, because they have to force it on other people, and they want everybody else to agree with them. But everybody has to find out in their own time, in their own way. You know.
right.
That's one thing. That's one thing you get when you find the truth. That's one of the things you realize, and you don't want to force it on anybody, but you're willing to let them, have a conversation with you and explain it to them, no problem. But you don't want to force it on them, and you know that they don't know it yet. So all they can do is take you on faith. Yeah.
Wow. So that's where the whole faith comes into the mix. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Yeah,
Right.
because that's I find it incredibly odd that people put so much fervor behind their beliefs that they'll totally
Yeah.
disregard anything new that comes their direction.
Yeah. It's insecurity.
It's what?
Insecurity.
Insecurity, and that's because they're just bamboozled at every turn, right?
I missed
I
what you
said
said there, dude.
insecurity, and they're insecure because they're constantly being steered in the wrong direction, or their own mind is held them captive on the wrong path, right?
Well, they have no
Hello.
defense. Steve.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just gonna do us all both a favor, and the people that are watching,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when can you join me next week, man?
Well, I think my week is pretty normal, so
Can you
I
can I
don't
nail
know.
you down
Go
on the
on.
time that we could get together and I
What now?
well now, but I mean
No. I mean, do you want me?
no, because I this is getting worse and worse, and I think it's due to the time because in my area,
Do you want me to give you? I lost you there. You're back now.
yeah, sorry, bud.
That's all right. It's not your fault.
I said, can I nail you down on a time where we could do this next week?
What's the best day for you? Is it weekday better or weekend?
The weekend would be better.
Okay, then the weekend. Let's say Saturday or Sunday. Up to you.
Saturday sounds good. Sunday, it's up to you, buddy.
Okay, so I'm home 4:30, 5 o'clock at the latest, which is 11 a.m. for you.
11 a.m. What day?
No, I'm not saying we'll do it on 11 a.m. I'm saying I'm home from 11 a.m. for your time.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And then we've got what, a 6 hour window to choose from.
Okay, so how's I don't know, 2 in the afternoon on Saturday.
Yeah, that's fine. That's 2 in the afternoon for you, right? Which is 8 p.m. for me.
Correct. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's fine.
See now,
Yeah,
you
okay.
see now how we're talking just fine back and forth now.
Yeah,
And you see what I
yeah,
mean by that? It's just so disheartening, man. I mean, my chest is hurting right now. I'm so frustrated with it. It's just incredible. But I'm not gonna let it get to me. But yeah, Saturday at 2 p.m.
yeah.
Maybe
The communication.
you and I can get together, and I'll have my Zoom by then.
Okay.
And we'll
Yeah,
continue this conversation, or maybe start. We'll rewind a bit and get
yeah,
to the
yeah,
meat
yeah.
of what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, most of what I wanted to say I couldn't because there's no graphics. We need graphics to refer to, otherwise we'll have to explain the graphics, and that'll take twice as long.
Sounds great, man. So yeah, I apologize for this whole Hangouts ordeal again. You
That's all
know,
right. Go on.
but yeah,
We do our best.
yes, and you know what? I totally appreciate you taking your time today with me, and everybody
Yeah.
in chat. They
Cool.
appreciate you as well. But yeah, Saturday at 2 p.m. then.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll
Okay,
do that.
sounds good, Phil.
Okay. All right, man.
And everybody in chat, thank you very much. I just wanted to say, apologize to you guys as well about the whole, you know,